Look like something from a Danny Dyer flick in that thumbnail there, didn't I? You fucking shut up! Naturally, I'm not that aggressive, unless, of course, it's another foul-mouthed review from yours truly. Right. This is going to be brutally honest, and it's not a warning, it's a plea. Okay, so a couple of days ago, Saturday afternoon, I was in Bradford city centre for my sins. It's like a walking onto the set of The Walking Dead at the best of times, but I went to the cinema with a friend of mine to watch A Haunting in Venice, which was absolutely annihilated by a bunch of children, literally children. Firstly, I don't know what they were even doing in there. They couldn't have been more than 15 years old, 16 at a push, and they were just chat all the way through. I had a similar thing happen last week, actually. So last week when I went to watch Cobweb starring Lizzie Kaplan, I was actually really looking forward to watching Cobweb. Up in the back corner behind me, all I had was this sort of, you know, when you can't hear the exact like conversation a couple is having, but they are just chatting constantly throughout the film. That's what I had. It was just, yeah. So that's what I was dealing with. Anyway, on Saturday, just gone, so these kids, so the ones in front, they couldn't sort of look in their rucksack to pull out a bag of crisps without naturally blinding everyone in the auditorium with their iPhone torch. So you had that and just constant sort of noises and giggling. I think they were part of their group. So up behind us, there was a row of young lads who were just talking and commenting in general continuously. Now, this spiraled when I was trying. So I was already desperately trying to focus on the film because I just couldn't. The shit hit the fan when a piece of popcorn hit me. So all of a sudden there was this sort of boink, like a kernel of popcorn bounced off my seat and onto my jacket. And I was like, for fuck's sake. The woman who I went to see A Haunting in Venice with next to me, she was like, are you all right? And I was like, no, it's that fucking dickhead. Like I made it clear vocally that they were complete idiots. And but yeah, there was no like mass confrontation, especially in a cinema screen. But you know, I made it known. But the thing is, what made it worse is it was just I had my friend in one ear, sort of, you know, asking if I was all right. I had the boys in the other ear, sort of just chatting and like banging on the seats and stuff. All I wanted was to just watch this fucking movie that was happening in front of me up on screen. So, like, why were children in an Agatha Christie film anyway? And yeah, like, why wouldn't they just shut up? Just keep it stumm, for God's sake. So, I suppose in a way, I mean, I can, throughout my entire cinema going like history, I've never been able to fathom. I just can't compute why people would go to the cinema to sit chatting throughout a film. I can't compute it. It doesn't make sense. Why go sit in a dark, cold, if there's aircon working, like quiet, silent room to sit and have a conversation? It does not make sense for me. It just doesn't. So there's that burning question, but there's also the other burning question. What on God's earth could be so fucking interesting that it can't wait until you're outside of the auditorium? All right. So what you're talking about, what is it that is so intriguing and fascinating that it just can't wait so you're outside and outside the building? It baffles me. It truly does. So yeah, personally for me, the interruption, including last week and a few days ago, the interruption comes in two parts: the anticipation and the ruined entertainment. So when I say anticipation, it's literally my personal anticipation of, you know, sitting there looking up, watching the film, but I'm constantly like, I've got this constant sort of, it's always on the radar that those people behind me or in front of me, wherever they are are going to start chatting again. So there's a silent part in the film, it goes hushed. And I'm like, okay, are they going to? So I'm trying to enjoy the film, but what's coming next? Basically, what are they going to do? Yeah, so you've got the anticipation, and and then there's mixed with that, I think, is will another viewer in the auditorium literally take a stand up, turn around, and confront them, because that would make it like just 10 times worse, I think, especially if the bastards like start shouting back and cause a ruckus in the actual screen. So yeah, the anticipation there, that will cause an uncomfortable atmosphere for everybody. I think that happened as well. So ruined entertainment, the second half of it is, well, it's the obvious, isn't it? That ruined entertainment, the fact that some selfish assholes who just can't keep their mouths shut, they drain any effect, any emotion you're trying to gauge from the film up there. It's just taken from you. Do you know what I mean? They just drain any effect the film I'm watching might have. It's horrible. It's just not nice at all. So yeah, my attention's focused half on the screen and half on the fuckers behind me or in front of me or wherever they are, because I don't know what's coming next. And then when it does come, then I'm even more pissed off that I'm having to endure it. Oh my God, just shut up, all of you. Now, a perfect example. I don't think in my entire in all the days that I've been going to the cinema, I don't remember this happening once. So this is the first time I've ever experienced something like this, I think. I mean, I did go and watch The Purge, the first Purge film many years ago, where teenagers were behind us, sort of stamping on the chair, like on the back of my chair. But yeah, this was something else. So in 2021, I think it was, The Unholy, starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that I was really looking forward to, because it's one of those tacky sort of religious horror films. I was really looking forward to it, basically. Love shit like that. Was ready to indulge. So I went over to West India Quay, which is, most of you out there might know it as Canary Wharf in central London, which is sort of exquisite rough at the best of times. It depends what night you go. It could be a complete shithole, or you could end up having a nice meal and a nice relaxed film and enjoying your time. So yeah, West India Quay is a bit hit and miss, but yeah, these, when I went to watch Unholy, these children, literal children, just, oh my God, it was a fucking circus. So I could already, I already knew what I was in for. And as soon as I opened the door, like to the auditorium and started walking in, I could hear like, Martin, you got my key? Where's my key? Martin, like, that kind of thing. Rachel, yeah, she just texted me, says she's going to be late. That kind of crap that you just don't want to hear, even just walking into the auditorium. So yeah, it got worse, believe me. So I walked up the steps and I sat down, and there was a woman on the other side of the auditorium. She, unfortunately, was sat right in the middle of where the kids were. For some bizarre reason, just like, yeah, what I noted was they'd all split up. They'd obviously all gone to the cinema together. There's about 12, 13 of them. They'd all gone together, but they all, because it's a cinema, I suppose, we're supposed to sit in different rows or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So they were all over the shop. Nightmare. And yeah, I felt so sorry for her. But I sat there, I didn't make it 8. No, it wasn't even 8 minutes. No, I left during the literal opening scene. So it's probably about 4 minutes into the film, because they were, oh my God, it was like, it was fucking like, we're talking Kindergarten Cop style here. There was running up and down the stairs continuously, side to side, in the front, like in front of the screen. They had their iPhones out. They had the torches on their iPhones, so they were whizzing those about like bloody airplane signalers. There was music going on. They were watching films, so they were on TikTok and Instagram. They were singing. They were screaming at each other across the auditorium. They're shouting. Yeah, but I draw the line at singing. in a cinema auditorium. I'm baffled. I don't know what. I don't know. Right, so it's a complete and utter shit show, and it was to the point of being absolutely unbearable. I had to get out. I couldn't make it more than, yeah, like I say, like 4 minutes into the film. I left. I was so pissed off. I went out. I reported it to one of the managers, who then offered me a sort of a free film, like a free ticket, and it was pointless anyway because I've got the unlimited card for Cineworld. So yeah, that was, oh my god. Just the whole, it was like they'd just been let loose. It was like everything they should have done, like in a park setting, in a quiet, dark room. Sorry, I can't see the logic. I didn't understand. I still don't understand. So there was that example. There was, but honestly, I don't know. You want to let rip, guys. Like, fine, lose your shit, but why choose such a setting? Just go to a park or a field or a skateboard place, whatever they call it, ramps, those little things. You know, your mum's garage. Just why would it be at the forefront of your mind to select an auditorium in a cinema, in a public building? Anyway, right. So, yeah, I had a similar situation happen when I went to see Halloween Kills in 2021, I think it was. I was sat there. I went to, I think it was Empire in Sutton, and I met these two ladies actually before I went in, and we got chatting. We're still chatting, actually. It's quite nice. We went in and sat down, and they were as excited to see the film as I was. So we were all really looking forward to it. Great. You know, Michael Myers is back. Completely fucking splintered, just diluted by like 3 women sat behind us who clearly been out to the pub for a few before they'd gone to watch it. And there was stuff like, there's a scene at the beginning of the film where Michael, a police officer, accidentally shoots his colleague because Michael's got hold of him. And then he's on the floor, like sort of crying over his body and stuff. And sorry if you haven't seen it, but yeah, he's crying, and the scene sort of goes silent for a bit, and well, a few seconds. He calls himself a copper, Karen. Oh, what do you reckon? Yeah, Lisa. What do you reckon, Lisa? Fuck, it calls himself a copper. Like, it was just made worse by the fact that the woman was the most like sloppy, like inarticulate person you'd ever fucking like hear. She's like, oh fucking, oh mate, nah, I can't do that. Nah, fucking calls himself a copper. Anyway, this continued throughout the film. So you've got like, oh, why'd you do that? Like, why would you wouldn't do that, would you? Like, it was so fucking loud. It was loud to the point of me, actually, I personally went outside and got a manager, and he came in and gave her a bollocking, and she knew it was me, I think. But yeah, you know, sometimes you have to do it. But this is what I won't abide. It's just, you know, people that ruin the film for everybody else. You know, it's not the fact that I'm, you know, that it's ruining my experience. I've got the unlimited card for Cineworld, so when it happens in Cineworld, I can go back, you know, for seconds and see it again. Some people might not have that opportunity. You are ruining it for other people. You know, in a way, I can give a shit, I suppose, in certain circumstances. But yeah, it's not just, I was going to say, it's not just antisocial. Is it antisocial behavior? Because if anything, it's incredibly fucking over social because they just can't keep their mouths shut. It's rude. It's incredibly fucking rude. And I'm not surprised. Thousands, probably millions of former cinema goers just stay home now and watch Netflix and Disney Plus. I've had this conversation with people in the cinema recently, that people are just staying home because there's no interruption. And it's not just, you know, rustling packets, popcorn being shaken. It's not that at all. That's nothing. It's the fact that, you know, hyperactive children are tearing the place up like it's fucking purge night, or pissed up women behind us like ruining it for everyone by commenting, you know, giving just dropping narrative throughout the film that nobody wants to hear. And yeah, I honestly, I was like the two girls last week. I couldn't give a shit if you're, oh, Lisa's just had her nails done. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, Lisa, I couldn't believe it. I'm meeting her afterwards, actually. Yeah, I'm meeting her in Greg's later. Yeah, I couldn't give a shit. Couldn't give a fuck about Lisa. Couldn't give a shit that you're meeting your brother in Greg's later on. Whatever. I just shut the fuck up. Keep it to yourself, please. I'm spitting now, sorry, because I'm getting so passionate. So, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? I've just spent 15 minutes saying it. Right, recently, so there was something in, I think it's London's West End. It was a live theatre performance. I think it was a live performance of Grease that a group of people got kicked out of. They actually had security guards come in and remove them because these people also can keep their beaks shut. I think they were singing along, but they were singing along so loudly that their volume completely overrode. Fuck. Over. Okay, so their volume. Sorry, fuck. I just totally threw myself off with my own, lack of knowledge on that word. Overrode what was going on stage. So apparently the actors, the performers themselves had to stop because they physically couldn't concentrate. Echoing there, my brain being split in half and not being able to concentrate on the screen, anticipation, and then ruined entertainment, that kind of thing, my attention just broken. So yeah, apparently the performers had to stop on stage, wait for security to come in, like bouncers, and remove them. But again, it's like stuff like that, especially live musicals, when it's not even a fucking sing-along. And there's nothing worse. It's like people on a coach or I don't know, something like a trip, I used to have it on college trips when we used to go to the theatre, actually. And the radio would be playing on the bus, and like someone in the class would be singing, heartfelt, really operating it out, and it was just shit. Basically, she didn't have a voice on her. So yeah, nobody wants to, especially if you can't sing, don't do it, because you're not only ruining the entertainment for everyone else, you're pissing people off because you just don't have the vocal quality or fucking training. Oh my god. Oh my god, stop it. So yeah, right, this a few days ago when I was trying to watch A Haunting in Venice, the culprits, the popcorn chuckers that were sat behind us, they did actually, they made it to the end. We made it to the end, but when we came out of the auditorium, me and my friend, we were chatting to another couple outside who were actually shushing. They kept shh, they kept, basically telling the boys to shut up. We were chatting to them outside in the foyer, and they were of exactly the same opinion. And the culprits came out afterwards and sort of walked past us, completely silent, as if they'd said everything they had to say. Basically, every single aspect of conversation, every topic, every giggle was made. Everything, they'd used it all up. And then suddenly we saw them walk out in complete silence. It was just like, just don't do it. Not just them or the girls from last week, fucking sat there having a whale of a time in my fucking presence, like as I'm trying to watch the film. I'm going a bit northern because I was in, I'm in Yorkshire and they were northern. It's just plain rude, and it's that whole thing again of like my attention being like, it's like that radio static. It's like I'm waiting. Who's, is a great big laugh going to tear from one of their throats, or are they going to start chatting? I'm enjoying it. Are they going to start chatting? Oh, they start chatting. Great. All right. So then the film's ruined. So that brings it down even more. It's just fucking hell. Seriously, it's not fair. As I mentioned, I've got the unlimited card for Cineworld, so I can go again. But poor fucking Kay, who's 60th birthday down in the front, who's, you know, come along with a friend of hers, really wanted to, you know, oh yeah, we're looking forward to Agatha Christie film. You know, just because you can't keep it fucking shut about meeting your brother outside Greg's later on, you know, she's, you know, it's her birthday. She's come to watch a film. You've just totally ruined it for her. Just because you know, you're discussing something that could be done outside or just before you go in. There could be someone who's just like had a real stressful bloody day at work, finished at the office, comes in, sits down, chills out in a film, and they've got fucking teenagers like hammering the back of their seat, like kicking it with their boots, and it's like, well, yeah, you know, one day, like, you know, someone in a cinema is like, I'm gonna have to YouTube. I bet there is, but I'm gonna have to YouTube, like, I don't know, fights or arguments in cinema auditoriums just to see if it's happened. But one day, like, you chatters are going to piss the wrong people. You're going to get the wrong person who is going to retaliate and just let rip. Yeah, you're going to pick the wrong person. So yeah, it's not a warning from me at all. It's not. It's a plea. Shut up. That's it. That's it. That's all I've got to say. I say all I've got to say. I've been here 21 minutes. But yeah, you know, it's not just me, it's loads of other people. And I'm honestly not surprised these days that every time, literally every time I go into a cinema auditorium, it's empty as fuck. There's barely anyone in there. It's like, I mean, you're looking at, I think, as a 300 seater at least auditorium, and there's about 9 of us, 17 of us, you know, at a time. No one wants to do it anymore. Gee whiz. So yeah, I think I have gone through all my points. But I don't think it's about points really, like making a point. I had to just vent that and just tell you guys who are just ruining films that people want to see, just to keep quiet. I did we did. The lady I was with, when we came out of the cinema, we mentioned it to a member of staff who was one of the managers. He simply said, I mean, I wasn't overly disappointed, but I mainly wanted it for her, like for her to experience the free film thing. Because when you actually make a complaint, bit of inside information here, you'll be lucky I told you this. You'll be glad I told you this. There's when you make a complaint in Cineworld, especially, they I think 7-8 times out of 10 they offer you a free film, so they give you a ticket. That happened in the Halloween Kills film. Back at Empire, when we made a complaint, me and the 2 ladies, we got a free ticket for another film. So yeah, 7-8 times out of 10 you'll get a free film. Didn't happen this time. There was a nice little build up of excitement when the manager handed a ticket to my friend and then said, oh yeah, it's got the customer service telephone number on it. Yeah, give customer service a call and tell them. Great. So yeah, no free film this time, but yeah, jackpot other times. Yeah, we didn't really get a you know, it wasn't, well, it was pointless basically. We didn't really get a sort of proactive response to our approach. It was pointless really telling a manager. God. Side note, the manager was actually coming back from bollocking another group of teenagers in the foyer at the end. Oh my God. Right. Just side note there, side note here, avoid at all costs the any sort of entertainment complexes in Bradford. You're probably sat there thinking, why the fuck were you even in Bradford? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, from my personal point of view, fuck. It's, yeah, no. I mean, yeah, you've only got to walk into the city centre to be gobsmacked. You've only got to peg it to the cinema to escape, sit in the auditorium, to then be just like have a film ruined and be completely pissed off. And perhaps that's the reason anytime I've been to the cinema up here, has been ruined because it's, you know, they don't know what they don't know what to do with themselves. They're probably too frightened to go into the city. I don't know. Anyway, that's yeah. Forgive me if I sounded a bit harsh with my comments on Bradford. I don't think I was. I'm just being completely honest. And actually, anyone else I've spoken to about the place has warned me away. So yeah, but yeah, as mentioned in this clip, it's not just Bradford; it's Canary Wharf. The O2 Arena's all right. Sometimes central London is the worst, but yeah, even a cinema in Sutton, which is a lovely little part of South London, even then you're just never going to know, are you? But those are the experiences I've had, and yeah, that's it for me. So yeah, shut up now, whoever you are out there. If you think going to the cinema and sitting there to like ruin a film for someone else is okay, it's not. Just shut up. All right, there's nothing can possibly be so urgent that it can't wait until after the film. Okay, that's it. Oh, right. Okay, have I got time to do a review? Fucking hell. Thank you for watching and enduring.